Hey everybody, Mike here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video in Maya 2024. Well, today we are modeling a simple game prop, which is going to be a shovel. And a shovel is nothing too complicated, but it's good practice. And if you are into games, this is something you will certainly have to model at some point, right? So here we go. We're going to take a polygon plane. I'm going to open up the attribute editor. We'll set that to, I would say 5 by 5. That should be fine. Then we're going to jump to the top view and we're going to start to block out the overall shape, if you will, right? So we're going to go to vertex. We're going to drag these guys out to, let's say, about there. Then we'll take these and I'll do something like this. That looks about right. We'll add one edge loop in the middle here, right there. There we go. Q on the keyboard, right click, go to vertex, drag click this guy, hit W, pull it out a little. Now we're going to adjust it a little bit. We're going to take these and push it a bit back. I think that would look slightly better. And then we'll take that one. There you have it. Right. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, we need to bend this guy a little, but we also need to create the section that's going to be rounded upward. So let's start with that first. We're going to go to face, and we're going to take these guys, right? And I'm going to hit E to rotate, like so. I'm going to hit W to pull them up, like this. And then I'm going to go in here and take that inner edge, this guy right here, and we'll hit B for soft select, and I'll make that range a bit smaller. Okay, and then we're going to go in here to edge once again, and we'll take this one, and then we'll push them down a little bit. Let's decrease that range. And if we smooth this guy, it should look something like this. Right, good starting point. Now, we need to raise up the edges a little bit. So we're going to go to edge, and let's turn off soft select. We're going to take this, and we're going to take this, and then we're going to turn B back on for soft select. And let's see how far we need to go. Let's go back, increase the range a little bit. That's not too bad. That's actually pretty good, I would say. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to extend this guy upwards. So we're going to hit B for soft select. We're going to go in here to edge. And what we're going to do is we are going to, let's see, we're going to take these two, right? Control E to extrude, W to pull out. That's going to be good. And then we're going to go right click to vertex. We're going to select 1 and select 2. Hit W. Start to push them down. And then take the whole thing and raise that up like so. And we're going to go into edge again. Control E to extrude. W to pull out. Like so. And here we're going to go into vertex again, and we're going to hit R, and we're going to kind of push them together like so. Let's hit 1 to unsmooth for a second. We're going to go into edge. We're going to take these two, Control E to extrude. Let's push them down, and then hit R and kind of scale them in a little like so. And then we're going to hit 3 again, and let's see how that turns out. That looks pretty good. Alrighty, now let's see if we need to adjust anything here. Yeah, we're going to take this vertex and that one, and we're going to ever so slightly push them in like this. Alright, and then finally at the end here, we're going to raise that tip of that shovel a little bit. So we're going to take this, we're going to hit B for soft select. Increase that range just a little, hit W, actually hit E, we're going to rotate it a little bit. Actually we're not, we're going to hit W, we're going to push it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that edge, turn off B, take this edge, hit E, and rotate it all. Now, I don't like the effect of how it's rotating, so what I'll do is I'll hit the insert key so I can move the pivot point up a little bit, hit the insert key again. That is better. I like the curve better, and I just need to manually adjust that a little bit. Okay, so that's fine. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to right click, go to vertex, take these two, hit W, and bring them back up. And I'm totally fine with this. We'll hit R. You can bring that in a little. Actually, let's not do that. This is fine. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to give this some thickness. So we're going to hit Control E to extrude. Let's do 0.02. And it's already in smooth preview mode, so we can see this. And I would say that's about right. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to go in here, and we're going to hit 1 to go back, have a look, see if we need to adjust anything. 3 for the preview. I think this is pretty good. Now, if you want any lines reinforced, do it now. So, for example, take this edge and this edge, right? And actually, we can. Maybe we can run that all the way up here. Actually, no. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm making this thing on the fly here, and I'm just having a look at what I like and don't like, and I don't want to mess with it too much. I do want to put one edge loop up here, though. So it's going to be up here. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe one here and one here, but that would be about it, right? Okay, Q on the keyboard. We're going to go to 3 to preview smooth. Yeah, very nice. Let's flatten out the top just a tiny bit. So we're going to go to vertex. We're going to take these guys, and we're going to simply hit W and kind of flatten that out a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with this. So we're going to right click, go to object mode. We're going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth it. And yeah, we'll leave it at level 1. That's fine. Okay, and hit enter. We're going to turn off soft select, which will kind of change everything. Let's set it to 2. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll leave it at 2. Alrighty, now what we need to do is we need to create a section of wood, obviously. So for that, we're going to take a polygon cylinder, and keep in mind that that will be tapered somewhere near the bottom, right? So we're going to scale this in. We're going to hit W. We're going to pull this out, and we're not going to remove the end caps here because they will be seen. And we're going to start to extend this out. Let's get it to the correct thickness. I have to frame that so we can see what's going on. The idea is that the wood should fit perfectly as it moves into the shape here, and then it tapers down. Now this is perfectly on grid, so this guy, we're going to move it down until we have a kind of a better fit. Like I said, it moves in here perfectly, but then it tapers, so we're going to have to adjust that at some point, right? And yeah, no time like the present, as they say. So we're going to go to vertex, we're going to drag these, we're going to hit R to scale that down, hit W, raise that up. And that would probably already be too much, so let's scale that out a little bit. And all in all, that looks good. Then we're going to take the whole thing, we're going to kind of move it in here because it will move to about here. and then typically what will happen is it will be tapered even further. So what we're going to do here is insert an edge loop. Let's put that in here, and then we'll hit Q on the keyboard. We'll go to vertex. We'll drag like these. We'll kind of hit R to scale them in, pull them forward like this, and then we're going to scale it down until it's in the right proportions, and we're also going to tilt it. So bring that down a little bit. That would be pretty good. Hit W, push it down. Let's see how far. Somewhere around here, that'll be fine. And let's see, we're going to need to add an edge loop here to retain that shape right there. Let's see if that took. It did not. Let me try that again. That's fine. We'll hit 3 to preview smooth. That's much better. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to go back here. We're going to hit 1 to go back. We are going to extend this a little bit. So we're going to hit W. We're going to move it to, I would say, about here. And it's going to be slightly tapered at the top there as well. Now, I think the overall thickness of this thing is a bit much, I would say. It just doesn't look right. So I'm just going to hit R, and I'm going to kind of scale it down a little bit. That looks a little bit better. Then we're going to push it in here after frame. That's better. We're going to raise that up a little bit. That's much, much better. And then we're going to kind of hug that in here. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go to vertex, and we're going to grab, let's see, not these. We'll take these right here, like so. Okay, and then we're going to hit R to scale, B for soft select, and we're going to kind of bring them a little bit in and up. Alrighty, cool. That looks better. Now, we are going to have a handle on this, obviously, so this will be extended even a bit more. But first we need to create the top handle. Now for that, we're going to take another polygon cylinder. We're going to E to rotate, flip it down like so. We're going to W, we're going to move it out here, and we're going to scale it down a lot. Give it some length. Have a look at the overall proportions, see what it looks like. All right, this is coming down. And from a position standpoint, that looks about right. And we are going to change the shape of this a little. So we're going to go to insert edge loop, multiple, and let's do 5, which is fine. There you go. Soft select still on. Don't need to do that. Then we're going to right click, go to vertex. We're going to drag select the one in the middle. Come on. Yep. We're going to hit R, we're going to kind of scale that up, then we'll take these two, scale that up, just these two, thank you. Scale it up a little bit as well, and then we'll take these two and do that. Now that's kind of that typical shape you would see, and we're going to go and insert an edge loop manually. To retain the shape, we'll put one there, and we'll put one there. All right, cool. So that's that. So if you go in here and hit 3 to preview smooth, you get something looking like this. All right, cool, cool. Now, before we move any further, we need to put in some fasteners here. So for that, I'll take a polygon cylinder. We're going to right-click, go to object mode, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it down like so. Then we're going to jump to the top, F to frame, right click, go to face, right click half of this guy and delete it. Then we're going to take this, scale it down a lot. W to move it over here. I have to frame that so we can see where we're at. Okay, flip it around. Scale it up. And we're going to squish it a little bit. Like this. Hit W, move that in here. Like so. Rotate a little bit. Like this. That looks perfect. Yeah, good. And then we're going to have one of those on the other end as well. So we're going to Control D to duplicate, move it over, E to rotate, flip it around, and push it in, F to frame. And if you're really concerned about people looking through this and seeing that there's no bolt in there, then you can put one in if you like, right? So we're going to just flip this down. Oops. We're going to flip this down like this. We're going to scale it down a lot. F to frame, W to move down. And let's do that from, I think perspective view would work best, yeah. All right, so we're going to move that over here. And we're going to move it up. And we're going to pull this out quite a bit. And then we're going to start to scale it down until we have the proper thickness. And we're going to get it in line with our fasteners. So just in case somebody gets very fussy about it, you got it covered. All right, cool. Now let's go back up here. So what are we doing? Well, we need to have a kind of a similar grip hugging the handle here. So for that, we'll take another polygon cylinder, we'll E to rotate, hold on J, flip it down like so, W to move, R to scale down, W to move that in, jump to the top, F to frame. We are going to scale it down quite a bit because we want it to be pretty close to that original size. We're going to extrude it later, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to face. We're going to drag select half of this thing and delete it because we're going to mirror it over later. Now, let's go in here. Let's go to object mode, hit W, move it over here. Let's get rid of those faces. We're going to right click, go to face. We're going to hold down the tab key and delete these. And then we're going to hold down the tab key once again. Not the caps lock, the tab key, thank you. And delete, there you go. Now, we're going to take this guy, we're going to go to object mode. And we're going to W, we're going to move it over here. We're going to get it in position so it's the correct height. Then we're going to hit R, we're going to give it some length. Let's not go crazy, but this is, let's have a look, let's see if it's proportionally right. Yeah, I think that's about right. Maybe a little bit less. Okay, hit W, move that up. Now, from here, and again, we're gonna give that some thickness later on, right? From here, we're going to go in here to edge mode. We're going to click and shift double click. We're going to hit Control E to extrude, W to pull out. And the whole idea is that we want to end up on the handle here, right? So I'm just going to do it like this, and then I'm going to hit G to repeat last command. And we're going to move this up here. But we need to eliminate, for the most part, that curve that's going on there, right? So I only have this selected, so I'm going to hit R to scale, and then I'm going to hold down Shift. And as I do this, it's going to start to flatten this out. It will create some faces that we need to remove, but that's fine. Okay, something like that. Hit enter. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to get rid of those. So let's see if that worked the way as intended. Not sure it did. Actually, it did not. So let's go back. Let's see. Let's try it like this. Yeah, without the shift. Right, better. Okay, so we're gonna push that in to about there. Not completely flat, but pretty close. And then we're gonna start to play with our settings to get this to where it should be, right? So we're gonna push that in here for now. It's going to, let me raise up that handle. It doesn't seem to be in the right place. Yeah, of course, this is a little bit raised. The handle is a little bit raised, that makes sense. So we get object mode, we're gonna raise this up to where it should be. There you go. And let's do, yeah, let's do this. All right, cool. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna right click at our vertex on this guy, and we're gonna select the top two and the bottom two, hit the B for soft select, pull down that range a little bit, hit W and kind of start to pull them in. That range should be a bit bigger, looks like. No, it's not working. All right, let me do it manually. Right, is what it is. Okay, so 2 and 2. And keep in mind, guys, I'm not hiding anything. I'm just doing it the way I do it. I'm not editing anything out. It's just what it is, right? So just to give you a sense that when you're doing something like this, especially if you don't work on a reference or kind of are just winging it, if you will, then yeah, sometimes you have to adjust things. That's all there's to it, right? So this looks all right, I would say. Let's have a look. We can bring this back in a little bit, and we can also flatten it, right? So we're gonna do it from the top to make sure we have the proper angle. Don't go nuts on it. You want to be able to get your hand in there, right? And we can also flatten that out a little bit. So we're gonna go in here to edge mode, and we're gonna double click on that edge, and we're gonna hit R. We're going to start to flatten that a little bit, like so. And then we're going to just hit W and move it in a little bit more. So that looks about right, I would say. Yeah, cool. Now we want a duplicate of this guy. So we're going to go to, duplicate special. Duplicate special, option box, -1 on X, I would think, but we'll see. And there you go. And now that we have these two, we can select them both and make sure they're properly aligned. All right. Now I'm going to give this some thickness, so we need to separate them a little bit. Okay. Select them both, go up to mesh and combine. Then we have the pivot in the middle. We can jump to the top. We can hit X while we move it to make sure that it's snapped properly. Yeah. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to give it some thickness. So let's do 0.02, which is a bit much. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit much. So 0.01, 0.0, 0.05, 0.05. How can that be thicker? That doesn't make sense. Give me a sec, guys. 0.02, 0.01. There you go. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna insert edge loop. We're gonna add some edges here. We'll do one here to hold that edge, and then we'll do one here to hold that edge. One up here, one up here, And other than that, I think we're going to leave these as is if it doesn't become too smooth, if you know what I mean, right? So hit 3, you'll get something like that, which looks pretty cool, but it's a bit too smooth, right? So we're going to go in here to edge. We're going to take this guy and shift click this guy, go to edit mesh and bevel. Let's do 0.01. There you go. That should be a big difference. And then we'll take this guy and this guy, hit the G to repeat, 0.01. We're going to right click, go to object mode. We're going to hit 3, preview smooth. That's a lot better. All right, cool. Now again, we need some fasteners here. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll take another polygon sphere. Hit W, move that over here. E to rotate, hold down J, flip it down 90 degrees. We're going to cut it in half. So we're going to right click, go to face. We're going to drag, select, get rid of it, take our object, R to scale it down quite a bit, W to move it up here, F to frame, scale it down. You want to have one up here, right? Again, F to frame, E to rotate that a little bit. There you have it. Move that in. Let's see how far we can go. That'd be about right. Let's go to edit duplicate special. Actually, that's of course different settings, I would say. Maybe, maybe not. Hang on. Not sure what the problem is, but we'll get it to, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So we're gonna flip that around. Hit W, bring that in like so. That'll be fine. And then we need 2 more for this thing down here. So I'm gonna Control D to duplicate, W to move. These are going to be slightly bigger. We're going to rotate them back a little bit. And then we're going to W, move them in. Control D to duplicate. We'll have one over here as well. Let me have a look from a different view, guys. Okay, this is coming up. Excuse me. Pulling that out, rotating that a little bit. Get rid of this guy. Push this down a little bit. Scale it down a little bit as well. That should be fine. Hit W, push it in there like so. Scale it back a little bit. All right. So we've got one here, Control D to duplicate, move it over. We got 2 of these, and then we're going to select them both. We're going to go to Mesh and Combine. Control D to duplicate, W to move over, E to rotate, J to flip around, W to push them in. Give it a little bit more thickness. All right. Now, that's that. There's one more thing you can do if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want. And what I'll do is this. I'll drag all of this, and then I'll go to Mesh and Combine. And then what we can do is we can take this, insert edge loop. Let's do maybe 5 or so. Put 5 in here, Q on the keyboard, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab these vertices, and we're going to B for soft select, increase that range a little bit, and we are slightly, very, very slightly going to add a curve here, right, and here as well. Something like this, yeah, which means that now if you hit B to turn off soft select, you need to raise it up fit the bottom part there, right? And then you need to take this guy, mesh and separate. And I did this on purpose because I didn't want it to get messed up. And we're going to bring that up as well. Right guys, that's it for this simple object, a shovel. Yeah, if you liked it, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.